Welcome to part 2 of my conversation with Sophie Strauss, the stylist for regular people. Today we're talking about fitness clothing, which is a super fun conversation as my closet is spilling over with fitness clothing since teaching virtually and how that changed my teaching wardrobe. And Sophie has some intel on the fitness clothing world, and we get into it. Thank you so much for listening. Here we are. Oh my God, what are your thoughts on workout clothes? I have so many thoughts.
Okay, so living in Los Angeles, workout clothes are obviously like the biggest deal. And there was such a pull to have like the cutest workout clothes all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that on one end, there's probably some like psychology behind the fact that like if you feel good about your workout clothes, then you're going to like go work out more and you're going to be more excited to work out. And I think that's probably true. But then I also like think back to being in high school before like workout clothes were really a thing. And like you just wore like your gym shorts and your t-shirt and that was just fine. And workout clothes are almost exclusively made of like synthetic fibers. And that's pretty tough on the body. They stink. That's why like everybody knows legging crotch. We all know legging crotch. That's a Rubicon that you can't unpass. It's toothpaste you can't put back in the tube, you know?
Yeah.
So my thoughts on workout clothes are that there's too damn many of them. There's too much. We're making too much of it. And like it's definitely nice to have like a couple things. And I think if you work in the world of fitness, that having more clothes than somebody like me who doesn't makes a lot of sense. They're like your work clothes. But I've been working so hard to not get tempted. I live by like a big like workout clothes store that just has like the shiniest, brightest colors of everything. And it's so tempting. And I'm just like, I have like 3 pairs of leggings and I have like 3 sports bras. And then I just wear like a regular t-shirt and it's fine.
Yeah.
That's my feeling. And that workout clothes, if you don't mind, depending on, I guess, the level of stench, because they're made of synthetics, they last forever. So like Poshmark is a great place to get workout
100%.
clothes. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so many things. I used to not have as many workout clothes. So very interesting. When I taught in person, I really had kind of like a uniform, and I was very much trying to not bring attention to my body, but like I needed to be comfortable because I was literally just going to be on my feet all day. People always think that when you teach fitness, you are actively working out all day, but you're not. You're standing around and you're like sitting on physio balls and you're demonstrating stuff for 2 seconds. Yeah. So I need to be like comfortable and warm. So I'm not going to just stand around all day in like a sports bra and leggings. Like I would have like, so I invested in like a really nice sweatshirt, like, 2 or 3 really nice sweatshirts. And some like, I used to have those like Outdoor Voices. They had like some looser pants with like pockets and stuff. And those were great because I actually could like put my phone into them, and like they were not body hugging. So I felt like I could be like demonstrating or working with clients who are all different kinds, men and elderly people. And you're not looking at like my camel toe, basically. You know what I mean? And I really would wear just like black and white, or like, maybe like a different color top, but I used to wear rings. Like I used to do a lot more with like my jewelry or something, as kind of a way to just change it up for myself every day. And then when I went virtual, I realized a really hilarious thing, which is that it's much harder to see what your body is doing if you're wearing black or a really dark color. And so I immediately had to invest in like hot pink leggings and and I like color, but I didn't used to wear as much, certainly when I was like teaching.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I became like fitness Barbie with like just 1,000 different, really bright colors and like prints and all this stuff. And it really helped. Like people were like, oh my God, so much better. I can really see. And I could tell that it was like fun for them, that I was like wearing like a crazy outfit or something. And so that's been really fun, but it's hilarious thinking like what I used to wear when I was teaching versus now. And I will wear the same outfit all week. Like it's just like, this is my outfit this week, my purple leggings and my like leopard print top. And I wear it all week because I'm not sweating in it very much. Or if I sweat in it, it's like one class and then I'll just wear it again. Cause also I'm like in my house and people can't smell.
Yep.
But then I have like a whole other set that's like what I actually work out in, because all these fitness clothes are all stupid expensive. So I try not to wash them very much. So that's also why I wear one outfit for the whole week.
That's so funny that you like basically have a bunch of nice fitness clothes that you can't work out in.
Yeah. Isn't that hilarious? Like, I don't know how people do it. I mean, obviously they just have money to burn because these, like, they're expensive. So I basically just wear one outfit for the week and then I wash it and I hang dry. And then I have like my beat up clothes that I run in, that I do like my own workouts in. And what I think is very weird and interesting is that in the dance world, there's really at least in the contemporary and ballet world, there's like just across the board, like I've taken dance workshops in Europe. I've taken dance workshops like across the US, like just across the culture of dance. You wear rags to class, basically, just rags.
Yeah.
And various like people, friends of mine and like partners and stuff who would like come see me performers, like would be like, why is everyone in rags? Like, you guys are such weirdos. Like, and I thought about it and I was like, I think because the point is I'm not trying to be anything right now. I'm trying to just be a body and just learn this movement and actually be very, amorphous in a lot of ways. Like, I don't know what this choreographer is about to teach me in this class. So I'm not going to come in like a flamenco outfit,
right.
And I'm not going to come to ballet in like my full leopard print bodysuit, because maybe we're going to do like the most softest, quiet thing. And I'm just going to feel kind of ridiculous. So I wear like pants with holes in them, 100%, shirts that are barely hanging on and like have very specific sports bras and things that are like, that's what I wear to ballet class. And I think that's so interesting because once Lululemon a zillion years ago asked me and a bunch of other studio owners in the area for feedback on fitness clothing, and everyone wanted cotton. And they were like, what? And they asked us to bring all of our favorite pieces. And I brought these Patagonia climbing pants that I wear to dance classes, and they are cotton. And everybody else brought cotton too. And I was like, I love the way these have broken in. They are still holding up. Yes, they have like a little hole in the crotch at this point, but they're literally like 15 years old. I can't believe how old they are. And I was like, I would never give these up. They're like, I love these pants and I wear them forever. And they were so surprised. And it was just like, yeah, I'm not trying to like razzle dazzle my way in my own personal workouts. And still, when I go to yoga, I tend to wear like pretty ratty clothing. I don't want to wear my like sexy workout outfit. But I do get like, if I were to be someone who worked out in a gym with a mirror, like it might be fun to wear like a more sexy outfit or something that feels like it's very much displaying my body in the way that so much workout clothing does, just to kind of like pump me up a little, like, ooh, flex that bicep. Like maybe that's fun. But I still I am very, and it is because of my dance training, I am very of the philosophy that like when I'm working on my body, I want to be internal and just like focus on myself and how I feel. I definitely don't want to be like, oh, are my seams straight? Am I like pulling on my shirt? Like all that kind of stuff. So it's funny because I fully buy a ton of really like, shiny, fun, very bright stuff. And at the same time, I'm against it. And I get a lot of stuff on Poshmark also because my favorite designer closed, sadly. And they were awesome. Adam Selman Sport. I love
Adam Selman Sport.
Love.
That stuff was so cool. My friend's store carried it for a while. I think
those sweatpants are amazing.
With the those
ones. I never got those ones. But I have all the like high waist. They're all like I'm wearing them all the time. My reels, like the high waistband sweatpants, and I wear a ton of their stuff. And I troll like Poshmark and Real for people giving the sports bras are great. But
I feel like the distinction that you just made demonstrates the difference in like this is why I feel like clothes are always like such a litmus test for like where people are at with their relationship to like whatever they're doing, because I think that most of the people who wear and like the settings in which we choose to wear sort of like flashy workout clothes, 9 times out of 10 are settings in which like our relationship with that physical practice is really about our physical appearance.
100%.
Right?
I mean, I'm
like,
performing is what I'm saying. I'm wearing those clothes because I'm performing.
But then also I think like the average like gym goer or like class taker, like walking around LA or wherever, right, going to Equinox, who's obviously that's not the average person, but I just mean sort of like the wearer of these girl. Like fancy, the Jimmy girl, whatever, right? Their relationship with body movement is like totally tied to just the physical versus like, and like what people are thinking about when they buy those is like, I'm going to do something that is about like perfecting my physical body, or working on it. And that when you're talking about forms of movement that are not, that are like as much about art and practice and the cult, right? Like the culture, and specifically, I think like the culture of ballet is also one that is like so rooted in a culture of discipline that things like how beat up are your ballet shoes, like
100%,
is its own like its own cultural signifier. But that it's so obviously those are still practices that are very tied up in body image, but that there's like an art and expression and culture and like performance element to it is so far outside of like how does your personal body look right now. It's like it's art. So the clothes are either in service of that or getting out of the way of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's probably a whole other area of people being uncomfortable in the fitness clothes that they're working out in, which like, you know, they should just be a tool. Like, obviously, like, I hope you're running in clothes that literally are like, I do a virtual run club, and sometimes people are like, my legs are chafing so much in the summer. And we're like, wear bike shorts. Like, you know, we're just like, don't wear running shorts. Like,
I do think it's like weird that I think until like maybe 10-15 years ago, it was definitely like an outlier at the gym to be in like a cute matching set.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is just the LA and me coming out, but now it feels like it's an outlier at the gym to be somebody who's like not obviously in like like cute workout clothes. Like if you are the person in like a t-shirt and sweats, working out like that you're the one who's like the pariah. I mean, not that you're actually, but it's like, that's unusual.
Yeah, no, you stand out. Yeah. I mean, someone should do like a retrospective of just like fashion in athletics, because you know, Nike has had such a hand. People forget that people used to just run in all-stars. Like, there weren't running shoes until very recently, actually. And people are so obsessed with running shoes. Do I have the right shoes? Does it fit right? Should I go to the store where I run on a treadmill? People used to just run in literally like shoes that essentially look like all-stars or something. Just little lace-up sneakers. That's it. A rubber sole to protect your foot. And similarly, like, and I had her on the podcast, Danielle Friedman. She's like one of my early guests. Her book, Let's Get Physical, I talk about all the freaking time, because there's one story in there that should be a movie, but it's not because of the patriarchy, basically. But there was, so it's actually really recent that women are even allowed in gyms. It's recent that women are even allowed to be like exercising basically like in any visible way, and essentially have any kind of autonomy over how our bodies look. So that you could decide that you want to become a bodybuilder tomorrow, and that's totally fine. And there's like a lot of avenues for you to do that versus, you know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, that would have been like extremely hard to find a place for a woman to just even do any kind of weight training like that. Women weren't allowed to run in any kind of road races. Like, women literally weren't allowed to join marathons until the mid 70s.
Right.
So we didn't have workout clothes. We had hilarious little cotton shorts and like button-up shirts until this woman. So this is like this crazy, amazing story. in kind of in the mid to late 60s, if I'm not getting this wrong, basically like lycra corsets were starting to fall out of fashion finally, with just like the hippie movement and fashion as a whole changing, so that women were wearing pants like way more often, right, and all this kind of stuff. So kind of the 1950s, the super tiny waist and the skirts was finally really falling out of fashion. Also, cry face, because those dresses are so beautiful.
We can have both things.
Yeah, exactly. Now we can do it all. And women were starting to not wear that really restrictive shapewear underneath. And so there were these literally factories or like warehouses full of all this thick lycra with nowhere to go. And this woman on the West Coast who was running these dance aerobics classes, her clients were like, we need clothing that we can do these classes in. And she contacted one of these warehouses and literally made the first like lycra bodysuits, the unitards that you see, literally out of the thing that used to hold women back, now was used to show women's bodies and show women's bodies off. And women really wanted to see sweat on it. That was part of it. They wanted to show off how hard they were working.
So like it would, the colors and whatever, it would like show the sort of pooling of the sweat.
Exactly, which you see in those like old kind of Jane Fonda videos and stuff. You see that everyone has like a V of sweat down the front, or their armpits and all stuff. I'm sure they crotch sweat. And that was really like a badge of honor. Like, I worked so hard, and it was a real moment for women, you know, reclaiming their bodies, that I'm not always pretty. I'm not always just like quiet. I'm in this class and I'm like sweating and pumping and all this stuff. Even though now we kind of laugh at dance aerobics and unitards, that was really like a moment of reclaiming ourselves. And I just love that it was like the fabric that was like holding our tummies in or whatever. And then we were like, show my whole body. Of course, what's so sad and what we're seeing now is like very quickly, when women in fitness became at all mainstream and these classes became at all mainstream and more people started manufacturing these clothes, then it became, well, you have to look a certain way to take this class or be in this unitard. But originally, from what I understand from these stories, there wasn't a lot of like fat phobia around. It was really like, everyone come to the class, everyone wear your unitard. We're just really excited to like be in our bodies. And then just when things literally became like chains and like, you know, it just became really corporatized. And then there's like, it just keeps going up and down with these fads of ways that we like reclaim our bodies. And then it gets like picked up by greater capitalism. And then it's like, you have to be a certain way to do this now. But I think like that progression of fitness clothing is so interesting. And we have all these fabrics so that you don't see sweat. And we have fabrics that can like shape your butt or like do all these, you know, I mean, it's just like,
I get so many ads for these like crazy pants. I feel like there's, I don't know if you get this one, but there's this ad of this woman and she's like, these pants, like our leggings are hard to get on. You're going to be like surprised. You're going to hold them on up, but you're going to pull and I'm like, wait, I mean, I guess, and I think on some level there are like certain workouts where like a certain level of compression is really useful. But it's only like kind of like, I'm not one of those people. So I'm like, why am I seeing this? Or like, there's all, you know, I see the ones that have the like little dots on them that are supposed to, who knows what they do.
Oh, I mean, like massage you or something. Yeah. All this technology. I mean,
who knows? You know, like
I've seen that they were trying to make clothing that could like measure how hard your muscles are working. And it's just like, that's not what my clients don't need is yet another metric telling them how they feel, what their body is doing. Like, constantly just trying to get people to connect to their own bodies, their own sensations.
Well,
like
that's sort of the exact thing, right? That I was like with clothes where it's like, oh, no, I have this many steps and I have this many calories and this many things. Like, here are all the external things. Am I doing health right? And it's like, what's going on? And how do you feel? How do you move?
Exactly.
How you know, whatever. It's, I don't know. I think, my other like big gripe with workout clothes as a big titty lady is just like all the cute stuff is for small boobs.
Sure.
And then all the stuff that's for big boobs is like is like a piece of architecture.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sure.
It's like this zips in the front and it zips in the back And there's no stretch in the straps, and it's all Velcro all the way, 12 inches of Velcro. And we've got supportive canvas paneling on the sides, and your boobs aren't going anywhere. And you like put it on, and it's like, okay, they're not. They're now like up to my chin. And
right.
And I haven't done like a lot of like high impact sports in a while, but like I used to do like I was like a martial artist for a long time, and I did.
Yeah.
And so it's like I can't have my boobs flopping around, but it's like there's all these cute sets that people wear, and I'm like literally like it would just be like a nipple floss. I'm like I can't. Right. I'm so jealous of all the cute workout sets, but then I'm like I don't need a cute workout set. Like I'm literally like in the dark. Everybody's thinking about themselves. I'm like in and out.
Yeah, I mean,
fine.
My issue would also be that often like there's these like one shoulder tops or like open back things where I'm just like, what workout are you doing where that's possible? Because
that's possible.
Even if you're like, let's say it's super low impact, like Pilates or yoga, there's so much twisting, like your boob's going to fall out of that. I mean, or I'm just like, I mean, yeah. I remember in the in-person times I had a client once that her bra came undone in class, and literally we had to have like a fashion moment, and she was like, help, I can't get it back. And we were like all trying to like fix it in the back. And we were like, I can't, like, it's stuck. I don't understand.
It's just like, not, it's not worth it.
For Pilates, apparently.
No, it's, yeah, I don't know. And I just think, it's something too where like this will have to be a whole other podcast episode, but there's also the like a lot of people who wearing these clothes became a requirement, like the social pressure now that like, and I think especially actually if you're not somebody who's like in a thin body, it's like, okay, well, I need to make sure that if I'm going to the gym, I know how many people are going to be wanting to correct me or say something to me or are going to make assumptions about like where I am on my workout and what my body movement life must be like. And to either like what you wear feels like it probably has like a lot of bearing on like how much you invite or don't invite that kind of conversation. So it puts a lot of pressure on all of us to then like have these clothes and wear these clothes to the gym. And we all have to have the cute set and we all have to prove it. But then it translates out into real life where like now wearing a sort of workout set outside of a workout, which I have like, if that makes you happy and comfortable, like great, I have no problem with it.
Right.
But it's such a it's such a social thing here now. It's such a cultural signifier, right? To sort of be in your like adorable workout set at lunch or whatever. That's its own thing.
Yeah, the dawn of athleisure, like I feel like I was right at the beginning of that whole movement, and just like the amount of brands that exist now, it's astonishing, just astonishing.
It's astonishing.
I remember when I was little, I remember we got one catalog of like something that seemed like kind of, I don't know what you would even call it, like beachy, like they just sold sort of like loose pants and sweatshirts. And I remember that catalog was, I don't even know what the brand was. And I don't think they exist anymore, but I remember it was very like, ooh, what is this world? Like it was clearly some independent brand that was trying to sell this athleisure idea, like way, that would have been like the early 90s. And now like you can't throw a stick without someone trying to sell you a $200 sweatshirt,
It's yeah. This was so much fun.
So fun. You're so articulate. It's so easy to talk to you. Thank you to my guest, and thank you all for listening. Please remember to like, share, rate, and review. If you want to hear more from me, you can subscribe to my Substack. You also get this podcast delivered there to your inbox, or find me at Brooklyn Strength and at brooklynstrength.com for free, helpful content, weekly and monthly drop-in classes and workshops, self-paced courses, coaching programs, and opportunities to work with me one-to-one. This podcast is produced by Brad Parsons at Train Sounds Studio, art by Jackie Mendez at Aesthetics Frames, music by Robert Bryn, performed by Wild Yaks. Take care of your busy body, everyone.